Hi friends, it's Naomi from Fluffy Boots Crochet Creations. I am not in the video today, as you probably can tell, because it's a ball winder. This is my big one, my Stanley wood, for 10-ounce cakes, because, get ready, I'm going to show you what I'm winding here. That is the power ball for what am I winding this for? Oh, duh, for Crystal's crochet along shawl. So yes, I am getting the colors ready. I'm hoping that it will, I mean, it's already spinning up beautiful, which I knew it would, but yeah. Oh, and there's Winnie. She's been debating on helping me. She's swatted at the winder. She has somehow got her belly caught in it earlier, so had to cut the cut the yarn so I could, I mean, she took off as soon as she got wound up in it and started to take the winder with her, so it was a table. But she's okay. She didn't complain. I think it just startled her more than anything, and I had to cut the yarn so that she wouldn't get completely wrapped up and hurt, obviously. Oh, and what's this? Yes, this is all the yarn I am going to be winding. As you can see, it's a whole lot. And over there is what is left right now currently of the other power ball that I am using to make my bird of the night shawl for the, what is that called again? Month of Bago Day, 2024. Don't eat it, Winnie. Don't eat that. Now she's trying to eat the winder, or the Swift, sorry. And as I'm winding, I am watching Thriss in Stitches wind her, or not wind, dye her yarn, which, by the way, right here, this beautiful yarn, as you can see, I love this green. I just ordered some more from her because I love it, I love it, I love it. This is the one from March, and I found two grays that will be very pretty with it. I'm not sure what I'm going to make. I don't have another green like this, so I'm going to have to find one that will work well with it. I think I have one in my, oh, no, never mind. It's in a different weight. But I just ordered some more. Oh, sorry. the hands, those little markings there. No, I am not in fights. I wash my hands a lot because I take care of my dad. So, didn't mean to have my hand in the way there. But if you give me 1 second, I will take a moment and show you what the other yarn is that I did just get in. But I did want to show this because I am going to be doing a stitch tutorial like I told you guys, but that is what it's called. I love the gray with the green in there. It's just so Pacific Northwest here. So 1 second. I was trying to hold this so you could see it better, but that is the Bird of the Night shawl so far. It is smaller than what her pattern is because if you have looked at her demo of it, I believe she does it in worsted weight, and this is fingering weight. So there is a difference, but I love it. It's going to be a very delicate thing. The Birds of the Night parts, I changed some of it. I didn't put this back post on every row. I did it like every 2 rows so that they really stand out more. And I also did, instead of a 7-4, which is what the you do a chain of 7, then you do 3 chains of 4s. That's what helps build up the eyes and the design. And I went with 5 for the center because I didn't want real big eyes, and I did 3, as my other chain. So it made it a little smaller, which I love. I did the same thing on my other bird of night that I'm doing in the twister, which I do have my twister yarn. It's supposed to be coming, hopefully. The last time I checked, which was a few hours ago, it was in the Seattle regional office for the post office, but it's been there twice now. They had started sending it all the way back to Dallas, Texas, so I'm not really sure what happened. I'm hoping it's not a sign that the yarn sack got ripped open or something, but it does happen. I'm not going to panic quite yet. I'll wait a few days to panic. The other thing that I have coming in is I do still have, I believe, 2 subscription boxes of my minis, and one of the people that I bought the subscription from, I bought 3 skeins of her regular size yarn. So I didn't get all 3 boxes because I did spend more on the one, which I felt would be okay to do because, you know, it's only me. I get to decide when I get yarn and when I don't, you know. So hold on and I will show you the other part that I was just talking about. So one moment. I hit the wrong button and it stopped my video, so I had to start over. So this is the yarn that I got from Amy from Home and Hearth Fiber. This is the yarn that she did, the mystery yarn dye-up that she did for me, that she asked me what colors I was looking for. So I got this gorgeous one. Every time I look at this, it reminds me of a pumpkin, right? That kind of rusty, like you just went to the pumpkin patch, and it's got the dark green for the leaves, the kind of dusty pumpkin coloring, gorgeous darker pumpkin. I absolutely love it. I got 2 skeins of each of these, so I'm like so excited. I don't even know what I'm going to do with these yet. I'm just like, what? So yeah. And this one I love. It's like a mulberry wine. It's just gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Doesn't that look like mulled wine? You know, that kind of muted color. It's got beautiful, almost a hazy purple to it with some brown tones and lighter tones in there as well. And there goes my cats. They're probably going to be in and out of the video because the other one is right there. So, yeah. This is my life when I'm trying to get wine yarn. If I lock them out, they get panicky and they start, you know, hitting the door. So, I let them in and it takes longer to wine yarn, but at least they're happy, and plus I can hear my dad better. So this one again is a really beautiful kind of mulberry colored. I will be doing a stitch up tutorial, or not tutorial, test with these, as well as the other new ones I have in. Probably will release next week, I should be. This is kind of a throw together last minute video I had an idea to do. And then there's this really pretty one. I love this one too. It's got brighter orange, although it doesn't look as bright in here. This is more of a reddish orange. It's so gorgeous. It's got the goldenrod coloring, the mustard coloring. It's just so pretty. I love this one. I keep moving it, sorry. Isn't that pretty? Now, if you hold on a second, I will get all the information on these. I have to go look it up. So, one second. And I just realized I have been saying her name wrong. I am so sorry, Amy. Her business is called Homestead Hearth Fiber. I was combining it. So, this is what I bought. It's a mystery pack of hand-dyed yarn, superwash Highland wool. It's very soft. And it is 80% fine superwash Highland wool and 20% polyamide. The weight is DK, and it has 225 yards each hank. It's 100 grams. Now, as you can see, that she has a very nice workup on Etsy. If I said the name wrong, I'm very sorry. I'm not really great with some of the names, but that's what she showed. And let me take you real quick to her main spot. And this is her main page on Etsy. As you can see, she does some gorgeous, gorgeous dyeing. Beautiful, worth, even if you just want one or two hanks, it's worth it. This mystery pack, 34 for 3 of them. It's a great deal. 2 of a kind hanks. I hadn't even seen that before. I want that because I love green. So if you're around enough, you'll find that out about me. I love green. All right, so let me get off this. So I'm just winding up yarn today. I'm feeling a lot better, so I felt like today would be a good day to wind some yarn. And it's kind of overcast and hazy out, and I got yarn to wind for my this is the mood board yarn over here. I got the yarn to wind up for making stitch tutorial, or I keep saying stitch tutorials, the stitch definition testing with the different yarns. I have no other way to put it, so I'm sorry. Including this one. This is undyed, but I want to make it up, and I don't know what I'm making with it yet. I love this yarn. It's going to be a lot of fun to work with. And I don't know if you are aware, but Thriss, the sweetheart that she is, will sometimes dye pre-made items. And I'm actually going to be buying some more from her, some blanks. I'm hoping at the end of this month. And I am going to make a shawl with it. At first I was going to make a tutorial shawl because I am going to create a shawl. I'm just trying to have us look at the yarn. But I'm going to have a tutorial shawl, and I was debating on what I wanted it to look like and how I wanted to make it. And I decided I don't want to do that with the one I'm going to have her dye, because I'm thinking of making beads, but at the same time, I might. I just kind of have to wait and see. I've enjoyed making shawls, which is really funny because I never thought I would be one for making shawls. Never crossed my mind, not ever. And now it's like, oh, shawls. That's a pretty cool thing. Hold on one second. Alright, so I decided that I'd go ahead and come on so you could see me, so that you can see all my weirdness. Yes, my hair is freshly washed, so it's kind of looking its own way. And then I made it worse. Oh, my grays is showing. Oh, no. Yeah. I will be going to see my hairdresser next month, I think. She's the only one that gets to touch my hair. I won't do home dyes again because that ruined my hair. I've finally got it healthy again. And she's the only one that gets to color or cut it, and we don't, my hair holds dye really nicely, so I can go a couple months in between getting it done. Unfortunately, this time it's going to be 5 months. It's been a day and a half since I've seen that girl, which is sad. But I'll get to go get my hair done and all that. I'm kind of thinking I might stop in Michael's up there. I'm not guaranteeing it because I don't want to get in trouble videotaping with the music on. So if I do, I will do it without the sound on. It's the only way I can think to do it. And then I can just, talk over it. Be like, this is this, and this is what I found. Because I haven't been to Michael's since right before Christmas. So it's been a while. I don't know if I'm going to buy anything, but it'd be kind of nice to go in and see what they have. I love going to see new yarn. I was watching Fiber Floozy. She did a come shop with me at Michael's, and she was showing all the new bins that they have in and all the new planners, and I'm sitting there going, oh, there's an idea. Oh, let me pause this for 1 sec. Okay, so Thrists and Stitches, normally when she does the sub box, it has markers in it. I can't remember what it was in March that happened, but she didn't have enough markers, I think, or not, yeah, markers. So she ended up giving, and I was so excited. I really was. I got this. Dun dun dun. Cute little notebook, right? I love it. I've even started using it already. I used it last night to write out the projects I want to do. And then I got this. Now, I confess, when I first opened up the pin, I had seen Crystal's yarn review first. And she was talking about how it was a stylus pin. And she didn't have the need for one because she had one, or she didn't use it, or something. I can't remember how she said it, but she was going to give it to her daughter. So I opened it up and I was like, oh, that is a pretty pin. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then I'm like, but what about this end? What happens on this end? What do we do? It's like, that's going to be really sad if I can only use it because it's really pretty. It's, yellows and blues and black. So, the black got me. But I'm just like, what am I going to be able to do with it? And then look, it's a ballpoint too. I was just like, oh, I feel so silly right now. I I honestly did not realize this was a ballpoint pen. I know, right? Like what? So yeah, silly, silly me. But I'm gonna see how can I do this. All right, hold on 1 second again. All right, so one of the things I was doing while I was writing down ideas for what I wanted to do coming up. First of all, yes, I am going to do some tutorials. I've been talking to Juan. I know on Sunday at his live, he talked about doing pattern introduction, how to read patterns, and I was like, oh, I was going to do that too. I mean, great minds think alike, right? But then I was like, well, I don't want to step on his toes because I went and said, oh, I want to do this, but I hadn't done it yet. So I was just like, I talked to him about it. It's like, well, maybe I should not do it because you're doing it and what have you. And he was just like, no, everybody has their own style. Go ahead and do it. It's fine. He didn't say, I had a statement in my head that I was going to say that my daughter always says, but no, it's not actually very appropriate. So I will be doing a pattern tutorial. It will, I can guarantee, be different than Juan's because I'm a different person. We're not the same person. So it's a novel concept. Um, I am going to watch his as well. So I'm kind of excited to see what he does. And so, thinking those terms, I was just like, you know what? I think I do want to do some tutorials. I don't know how often I'll do them. I was just like, oh, I hold my hook wrong and everything else because of the fact I was a knitter. And then I watched Juan one day and his mom, and she throws her yarn as well. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm not as, you know, off kilter as I thought I was. So, that being said, I have a total of 3 other Powerballs. Now, one I know already what I'm doing with it. It's for a certain shawl I bought called hold on, I'll look. Sorry. I have a bad habit of doing that, don't I? I get in these things where I'm like, oh, I want to share or I want to chat. And then I'm like, oh, but I'm not even ready to do it because I'm thinking of things as I'm talking. But it's called the Starlight Shawl. And the reason that it caught my attention when I first saw it is it almost looks like a crescent moon, but there's almost like a solid piece. I don't know how else to describe it. Let me see if I can pull it up and show you. No, just close down. Oh, not on that one. Okay. Go over here. Again. So I found that on Etsy. I do not remember right off the hand who was the person who makes that. I will tell you that in a moment. Once I get over to her shawl, I've found recently that I really like shawls. And now that I've been working on them, I'm like, okay, I could design my own shawl. I could do that. I really could. So that's what I'm going to be doing because I believe that it's something that people would like. I could be totally wrong. I believe it is one that people will like. So, okay, I'm going to just turn it so you can see it. I had to go onto the website. So, that is what it looks like. Do you see how it's got the crescent shape and then it's got the one kind of lighter shape? When I saw that, sorry, I flipped that kind of fast. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to make that shawl. I need to make that shawl. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, I want to make some shawl designs, some wrap designs myself. I will tell you right now that my um, tutorials that I'll be doing, sorry, I had to really stop and think there for a second. I am not going to do clothing tutorials. So I'll do shawls, I'll do wraps, I'll do scarves, I'll do a hat, maybe a bag at some point, I'll do things like that. Your accessories, your home goods, what have you, even amigurumi. Once I get to the point that I feel like, okay, I could totally do this. It's not today, and it's definitely not going to be tomorrow. But the reason I'm not going to do clothing, at least I don't feel like I'm going to do clothing. Right now, I am definitely a plus size woman. Um, I'm not going to tell you what size I am because there's some things a woman just keeps to herself and shares only with her best friends. But I have watched Crystal at Bagel Day since I started crocheting. And I have listened to her talk about the trouble with making clothing tutorials. And I just don't want to end up having the same hassle, of people going, well, why didn't you make it for all sizes? Or, what have you. And so, what I think I would rather do if I do clothing, I will show you. I will, I'm really honestly doubt I'm ever going to design clothing myself. I mean, yes, I made the one top that I made for Bago Day. I did not write down any of the information on it when I made it. Um, I just didn't. And yeah, I have a couple of designs in mind that I want to make, but I'm making them for me. I don't know if it's something I want to design to show. Does that make sense? Like, I want something that's one of a kind. I have a couple books on clothing that I already have things picked out of that I will, show you once I have them done, but I really don't think that I'm going to design any kind of clothing that can be seen. Or tutorial. Sorry. I don't know why I said that can be seen. Of course it's going to be seen. Once, oh, there goes my phone. Okay, sorry. I had this sudden itch on my nose. And once I itch one spot, it's like then it jumped to the other and it's just like, oh my gosh. So I had to stop and itch my nose. So I'm very sorry. All right. This being said, what the whole point of this whole thing of me talking about is, like I said, I have 3 more um, brain totally just stopped. I have 3 more Powerballs, and I want to do something with each of them this year. That's my goal. So then I can buy other Powerballs. I already have one shawl started, which is the one you've seen. I have the one I'm wearing now, which is for the bag o' day. Now, the other 2 that I have over that I brought over here, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with them, but this one is my navy one. I'm kind of thinking about a shawl for this one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of thinking, depending on how much I like the Bag O' Day one, I may make this into that one. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see. But this one I know I'm going to do into a shawl. This is my zombie picnic. It is a worsted weight. It's super merino. It's 1,090 grams. I love this one. They no longer make this one, which is super sad because I think it's really cool. So I'm going to make either a shawl or a wrap out of this. And this one I'm going to use to make something in a tutorial because it's a heavier weight. Um, it'll be easier for people to find. It's it says that it's a worsted weight, and I just pulled it apart, so that's not really good. And it's 500 grams, but as you can see, it's more like a 3 to me. I've always thought worsted was a 4, but it could be a 3 or 4. This is closer to a 3. And I have it in this, and then I have two small hanks in fingering that I bought specifically to go under it as like a tank top. Actually, one of Crystal's patterns tank tops that she did. I thought would be perfect in it. So those are my plans. So when I'm ready to make the tutorial, I'm not going to say that it's going to be next month for the tutorial for making a shawl or the hat. I will probably do the hat one first, honestly, because I've already made it. I just have to remake it, write down all the information on it, um, make it in a lighter color, because the original one is made in black, so you would not be able to see very well. It's, I don't think, um, I think I have a couple pictures. I'll put them up in my corner. That is for, okay for YouTube because it's for my daughter's boyfriend, and it has a skeleton hand who is being very verbal. Let's say that. If you catch my drift. If not, um, well, but I don't know how the safe way to say it. It's talking to you. It has something to say. Hopefully that's well enough. Okay, so what else is going on right now? So yeah, since I've been sick the last few days, thankfully I'm over it. I can feel the major difference. So at least this cold did not last this long. I was really getting a little worried there with me needing to sleep so much, but I've got it down to where I think I'm okay again. I feel fine. You know, I'm a little stuffed up, but it's allergy season too, so what can you do? I'm trying to think what else. Hmm, no, I can't think. I had a thought in my brain and it left me. So I did go ahead and decide 100%, and yes, I'm sad about it, but I needed to allow myself to say it's okay. I will not be getting the blanket done in time for the Bago Day auction. I'm very sad about it. I wanted to get it done, but I don't want to rush it and ruin it. So it will be going most likely for the wedding gift, which is fine too because I know she will love it. Um, and then if Crystal does announce that she is going to do another one next year, I will make an Afghan for that one. Um, I probably won't do the same start of pattern. I I may. I have so many patterns that have intricate design. I love intricate crocheting. I really do. It's why when I'm making shawls and there's, I don't want to say they're simple, but they're maybe just a repeat one, I want to keep adding things into it because that's how I learned how to crochet. I mean, my second thing I ever made was my daughter's blanket, and that had the ridge ripple in it, and that was like, oh, I like adding things in here. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up doing that. Um, Trying to think if there's anything else. So I will have a stitch definition hook test for you guys next week on everything I recently bought that I didn't get done when I did on the yarn hauls, and I showed you. I do, like I said, I do have some yarn coming in. I do have, oh, I have a big order coming in from Thriss. Um, if you have not watched her, I really do recommend watching her. She has some beautiful yarn dyes that she does in lives as well as in non-lives. Which she just started doing not that long ago. And she did one that she was testing out a color called Twilight Gray, I think, but she had a couple others. So I contacted Thriss and I'm like, oh my God, I love them. Please tell me you still have them. She had some, so I placed a big order for that. And then yesterday, she and I talked again, and I placed another order. And so, yeah, I love Thrissa Stein. I think she does an awesome job. Every time I see her stuff, what I like is it's unique. And if you've followed me long enough, you will know I love unique things. I like something that stands out. I actually, it's kind of funny. I was feeling kind of self conscious a couple of days ago, and I'm just like, maybe I'm just really weird and really odd. And so I went and looked it up, and I was just like, okay, is there such a thing as Gothic Bohemian. And guess what, guys? There is. And it's not just me. No, it's true. There's a whole genre of Gothic Bohemian, so I don't feel so bad now. Like, because I'm random, I throw in colors here and there, and I have my, you know, whoops, my Fred and his bride pictures over there. And of course my dragon, which everybody loves, my dragon bag over there. Yeah. See the big holes that pulling those power balls pulled? But yeah, so that was kind of cool because I was like, every time I try to explain that I'm Gothic meets French country, it's like, I don't think I'm explaining it quite well because it does seem like an odd mix. But now that I've seen that it's an actual genre that I actually am in, I don't feel so alone. which was the whole thing. I was starting to feel very alone on, you know, what I do and create. So now I know that if I want to start wearing shawls suddenly at being 5'3" because I shrunk. No, I'm 5'2" now. Yeah, that's so sad. I used to be 5'3" and 3/4. I love my 3/4. But now I'm 5'2". And every time I go in, I'm like, I don't want to shrink anymore. Can you tell my body to stop shrinking? Luckily, I'm not shrinking in the way of, get developing that bad curved back. I already have a curved back, so it's not affecting me any. But yeah, as you get older, we start shrinking, our bones start going together more, and it's a lot of fun. But I was kind of like, can I get away with wearing shawls at that height? And is it going to look weird? And then as I'm looking up this thing, I'm like, no, I can totally get away with it because, first of all, I'm my own person. I don't need permission. I've lived long enough that if I want to wear a peacock purple hat with feathers and a bright pink, I'm trying to think of really contrasting colors. You know what I mean. If I want to be weird, I can do that because I've lived long enough to be able to say, I don't care. Let me be me. And that's where I'm at. So when I'm making shawls now and I am making wraps and things like that, yeah, I am definitely going to be wearing them. I may not keep every shawl that I make, but I am going to keep a lot of them. The one I'm making for the crystals um, cowl shawl, I'm so excited. If you haven't looked at the videos, please go check them out. They're stunning. And she's only at row, what did I just watch last night? To 24, I think? I don't remember. I watched a lot of things last night, so I can't remember. But I think it was to row 24. And it's just like, you just sit there going, oh my God, that's so gorgeous. There's so many fabulous shawl patterns out there, which is one of the reasons that I started thinking I need to help people understand how to read a pattern, not think of patterns as this overwhelming mountain you can't conquer. Yes, I had the advantage growing up of no internet. We didn't have it. If you wanted to know something, you had to have someone teach you. You had to use books. So you had to learn from a pattern. You had to figure out what all the abbreviations meant and what it meant if it said, what's a hard one? FPDC times 3. Now, unless you know that FPDC means front post double crochet and it wants you to do it 3 times, it's going to confuse the absolute heck out of you. And just so you know, it wouldn't be like that because it would be like if you were doing 3 in a row, it would say FPDC and each stitch times 3. It's simple little things that help you hopefully start learning to read patterns because I'm telling you, there is this whole world out there, just a huge, huge world out there outside of tutorials of patterns that people who think patterns are hard to read are missing. And it's so sad because you really, I mean, yes, it's a little harder to read if English isn't their first language, if they're using a translator or something like that. So sometimes you do have to read it a couple of times. You might have to read it, try to play with it, and then write out what they're saying. That's just how it is sometimes. It's just like anything else, you know. Going from one language to another, sometimes we speak differently. And if you're trying to speak American, but you're, British, yeah, our languages, we Americans have some weird, weird things that we say. Just gonna be out there. I'm gonna own it. I am. We do. We have some things that it's just like, what? Why? That is such a meaningless. Why did you add that into that? Yeah, we do. You know why it is? Because Americans, we're still like the teenagers on the block. We're still like, yeah, we're good. We know better. Yeah, we're still doing that. But hey, you gotta love us, right? Well, I really kind of lost it on that one. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm chatting a lot lately, aren't I? Wow. So yeah, this one, look for. Don't know what wrap I'm going to use or what, not wrap. I don't know if it's going to be a wrap or a shawl tutorial. I promise it will be a fairly simple one. This is a pretty busy one, so I've got to decide what stitches are going to work well with it. Um, I kind of have an idea. I got to play with it. It's not going to be anytime soon yet, but I do want you guys to get excited knowing that, yes, I will do some stitch tutorials. And I got to be honest, it's taken a lot for me to want to do it because I really never thought I would want to do stitch tutorials, but I also never thought I would do YouTube until a few months ago when I went, okay, fine, I'll go do YouTube. That's cool. Yeah, why not? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Nobody likes me? Okay, well, I've had that happen before. That's cool. So yeah, it's just how it is, You conquer each little thing and then you go forward. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm going on now. It's just one of those days. Yeah. So, yeah, today and probably tomorrow is just winding yarn because it does take longer when you have cats. And Hanks, you got to stop and you gotta put him on the Swift and you gotta make sure you find the right side. And this Powerball I just put up there, 10 minutes. I'm not kidding. 10 minutes of putting it on, twisting it the wrong way, and then I broke an arm. Well, not the arm itself. I broke the ute that they had holding their arms in place. So I'm just like, crap, 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 crap. So I had to go buy, or not buy, but I used some yarn scrap I had. Because I'm not really sure where I put my jute. Is it ute? Jute. Twine is the other word for it. I don't know where I put it. So I grabbed some yarn scrap and fixed it that way. But it's not a real expensive Swift. Um, and it works fine for the smaller skeins, but these Powerballs seems to just really make it go, what are you doing to me? I don't want to wind this. Oh yeah, I need to get me a new one. Just for the Powerballs, if nothing else. Although, I know you're probably like, but why are you buying so many Powerballs? Because for the amount that you pay for a Powerball, you get gorgeous colors. You already know it's all going to be um, same dialogue. And on top of that, you get a huge amount. Sorry, I had a little flex on the navy. It was driving me nuts. Um, you get a yarn that's gorgeous. It's hand dyed here in the U.S. It's milled in Italy. It's got beautiful colors. And there's no chance on one Powerball. There's no chance whatsoever that it's not going to match. Now, it's the same with anything else. If you are not 100% sure how much you're going to need for a project, you're going to have to buy two. Now, if you don't want to buy two Powerballs, you can buy the hanks. But just know if you buy the hanks to go with it, it could be a slightly different color lot. It's just the way it is. The other part is if you buy two Powerballs, they may be slightly different. Yarn is fickle sometimes. Keith's a really awesome dyer, though. I seriously recommend buying it. I know you may be saying it's too much money. I can't spend that much money on it, but when was the last time you bought you something that was really, really nice? That was just for you. Just maybe you may not be keeping it, you might be making it for someone else, but it's worth it. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love working with his yarn. I have now worked with like whew, 4 or 5, and I don't have to stitch test each ball because I know it's just like my friend that creates the crow and crescent yarn. I know her yarn. I know it inside and out. I don't have to do the stitch testing because I know which one is good, which hook is going to work with it. Now, if I want a different size look, if I'm making something a little more airy, yeah, I still have to hook test to see which one gives me the look I want. But that's part of creating. I have talked your ear off enough today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of winding yarn and I stopped to do a video. But that's just how I am sometimes. So I am going to say bye for now. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing as well as hitting that notification bell. And if you're an old hat, friend, however you want to put it, I don't know why I think I usually say an old hand, which I really don't know why. If you've been here before, if you're already subscribed, or if you're new, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. It helps their algorithm, gets me out there for other people to see. And, of course, if you like it, share it with your friends too. Okay, guys, until next time, I'm going to say bye.